Colin Fowler, it's that time of year again. It's Men's Health Week, just over the cusp, and I always try and get a chance just to talk to you very briefly so you can tell us a little bit about it. And for anybody who's in the world of, I suppose, engaging with men or interested in men's health, maybe they still haven't heard about Men's Health Week, but I know you're going to tell us about that very briefly here. So if I was even to begin with that, for people who are here on your website already and all the information that's just below you when they'll see this video, tell us a little bit about the Men's Health Week experience. What is Men's Health Week or International Men's Health Week, and how did it come about? Just very briefly.
No problem at all, Lorcan. Well, Men's Health Week has been celebrated in Ireland since 2005, though the idea came in a wee bit earlier than that. And the idea or the concept of having a Men's Health Month originally started way back in America. But on the island of Ireland, we've been celebrating since 2005. And we started out with this idea of small local activities and small campaigns. And now today we're up to a really kind of fairly big operation with 90 plus organizations joining us each year to mark and celebrate the week, and more importantly, to steer the direction for that.
And tell me, Colin, you know, for people who are looking in maybe and they haven't reflected too much on men and men's lives and men's health, is there rationale for it? Do we need a week dedicated to men's health? And if so, why?
Well, I think the reason's quite simple. The recent Men's Health and Numbers publications on the island of Ireland showed what the kind of key statistics are on men's health. And on one point, they actually showed that men's health's going in the right direction. So that's the good news. We're actually getting better at our health, but there's still a lot of things that we need to improve upon. And so Men's Health Week gives us that once a year opportunity at the very least to focus upon men's health and the health of boys as well, and to try and do something very positive and practical about it.
Now, the positive and practical is where we're going in a few moments, but I want to hold you where you are, I suppose, in staying with that idea. Men's Health Week itself, you said it's positive and the news is better than it was. So, you know, in the promotion of this, I know you have a number of partners. There's a lot of partners involved who try and kind of orchestrate and celebrate, for want of a better word, Men's Health Week on the island of Ireland. Can you say a little bit about the partners to me? Because I know they're very much part of coming up with the team, which we'll go to in a moment, and then how that's going to be disseminated across the island.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, we have 90 plus partners, too numerous to mention in a wee video, or we'll be here the whole time. But they range from the statutory bodies, the Health Service Executive and the Public Health Agency and the Health Trusts in Northern Ireland, down through the ranks, through the big voluntary organisations, the headquarters groups, into the smaller community groups, and then individual men's sheds and men's groups on the ground. So we kind of cover all bases, from the medical to the social, to the spiritual, even on some occasions, to the sporting, to the community, to the voluntary, and even the academics as well.
And I know that partners are very involved in the conversation around what we're going to run with each year. And this year it's around making the connections. It's a virtual year again because of COVID. So say a little bit about that, you know, making the connections and the strap lines that come out from underneath that.
Yeah, certainly. 2021 has been another one of those really exceptional years. You don't have to have been living under a rock to appreciate that, you know, the world has been influenced by all things COVID. And the COVID world has been a very difficult world for a lot of people. Some people's jobs have been affected and their incomes, their relationships, sometimes their access to education, or their opportunities to go out and about into the world. And so what we're really encouraging people to do as we move out towards some hopefully positively better days really in the future, we're asking people to kind of start thinking about remaking those connections. And as they think about making the connections, it's connecting with themselves first and foremost to see how they're doing. So check in with yourself. Check out how your friends and your family and your work colleagues and the people who live down the street are as well, and see if you could maybe offer them a wee bit of support. And I suppose more importantly as well, check it out if there's something you put on the back burner, something that's been a niggling health concern for a while that you haven't done anything about. Now's the time to reconnect and do something with it.
And that's where we're going to ask people to do, because this is a call to action here, this video. And if you're looking at it, please, the call to action is coming up in a minute. So as they used to say years ago, don't turn that dial, stay with us, please. Because Colin, on this website where we are at the moment, and you know, the resources that are here, especially with the forum, a lot of really good information. For a virtual year, you literally can just go in and grab and you're ready to go and mark the week in some way. If you're a community group, if you're an individual, there's so many different ways. The resources are there, even from the man manual. Say a little bit about that and how people can get to you and find that stuff.
So below us here on this page, on this web page, you can see what all the resources are, as you've mentioned. We've some physical resources, we've some posters, we've got some postcards, and we've got some man manuals. And all of those are available to people who want to give them out to anyone who could use them profitably. But also all of those materials are available in electronic format. So you don't have to send off and post off a man manual to your friend or your neighbor or your father or your uncle. You can just download a copy and email it across to them. But the other thing that's important about the week is that it's about doing things. And so each day of the week, we have a theme that we're going to be following. And you can see those below in the themes for the days of the week. And one of the most important days of the week is Saturday, because Saturdays are Pledge to Action Day. That's the day in which we say to people, Men's Health Week is not just for a week, it's for the coming year. And we're asking people to make a pledge, personal pledge for themselves of something realistic that they can do to improve their own health or the health of men and boys around them. And it's not just about blaming men that they're responsible for their own health and they have to change things. So of course we want to see men stop smoking and drink less and eat less and exercise more. But we're also calling upon the service providers and the policymakers and the decision makers to make their pledge on this day as well, to make sure that men's lives and boys' lives are healthier and happier.
Now, Collie, it's very close to us. It starts on the 14th and it runs and finishes on Father's Day on the 20th of June. And I said, all the information that people need is literally, just there. Go into mhfi.org. If you're watching this from somewhere else, you'll find it. It's all there under the drop down for Men's Health Week 2021. And that's really, really good. The final word, Collie, on it in relation to Men's Health Week, it's a virtual event. Your hope for the week, people can get in at any stage of the week, really, and go and grab and take those banners and promote it maybe on social media or whatever. What's your hope for the week for people to get involved?
Well, I suppose we really just hope in the first instance that awareness of men's health needs is increased. And the easiest and simplest way to do that is for everyone on their social media to use the hashtag Men's Health Week and to promote or retweet or show up some particular issue or message that they'd like to give out. We want people to share those resources, of course, and to make their pledge next Saturday. That's really, really crucially important to us. But we also want the people to think about how they change things for the future. So as we say, Men's Health Week is not just for this week. It's for what we do next week and the week after and the week after. And those small steps will make a really, really, really positive change to everybody's lives moving forward.
Well, Collie, look, we wish everybody who's part of Men's Health Week and work as well at the forum all the best for the week. I hope it's a really great week for all the men and younger men on the island of Ireland. And just go for it. And folks, all that information that Collie has talked about is literally at the press of a button. Just go grab it and use it. Happy Men's Health Week, if that's the word to say, but have a good Men's Health Week. And let's mind ourselves as we go into the future. Go well.
Thanks, Lorcan.